I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Part of the way that I stand, there's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let
Being married to an entrepreneur is hard work, but it's worth it when it works.
You got your hands full every day like I do. You got kids, you got a marriage that you're trying to work, a business that you're trying to make work, and finding time for the kids, and keeping it spontaneous. Boy, that was good last night.
Nobody teaches you how to manage a business or manage a relationship or marriage. Everybody's just trying to do the best that they can. The purpose of the show is to give you some tools on how to make the marriage and the business work. We don't do it perfect, but we're figuring it out.
Go get him, girl.
Hello. Thanks for tuning in to the G&E Show. We come to you live every Wednesday at GrantCardoneTV.com. Thanks for tuning in. This is the business of marriage and what to do and how to get everything kind of do-do-do-do-do. Anyway, call us today.
What is that? Booty doo doo doo. What is that?
You know,
I don't
that's just
know what that is.
how to juggle it all, how to make it all work, how do you deal with the business of marriage, you know? What we've been
tough,
doing
man. It's
for
tough, huh?
12 years.
Is it tough being married to me?
You know, there's moments when it's tough, but overall, if I look at the big picture, no, it's not.
What is the toughest part of
I
being...
got you figured out, and right when I think I do, I don't.
That's good. What is the toughest part of being married to me? Champion.
Probably what I just said, thinking I have you figured out and then doing something and you're like, how did you not know this or that? And I'm like, wait, what? But last week when I made this choice, you said just the opposite, but in this way, you know, that kind of stuff is tough, trying to figure those things out.
Appreciate the examples.
Well, I don't want to throw you under the bus. Last week you say, hey, you throw me under the bus. I talked about something 12 years ago and you're like,
No kidding, man. If you didn't see the show last week,
it.
What was that show about, by the way? It was
that was terrorism in your family.
Terrorism. By the way, it was terrorism and the family, not in your family. Okay.
By the way,
we don't have terrorism in our family.
And no, right. But I had told you a story about a very good friend of mine, which I actually didn't get to finish. That we're still very good friends. But 12 years ago, she made a joke to you saying, if you weren't married and I wasn't married, and I got all upset, and I got.
Now you're going to do it again.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then you said, why did you say that? It made me look. It was 12 years ago. Who cares? I brought it up as an example to nip that in the bud. Anyway, but to clarify, she's still my very dear friend, love her to death. So.
Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Grant Cardone TV does a show called the G&E Show. She's the E, I'm the G. E's for Elena.
Excellent.
Excellence or excellence. G is for Grant. You can follow Elena on Instagram. That's her
That's
mode,
my via.
Her via of choice. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere, man. Whatever channel you're on, I'm there. Your Uncle G is always here for you. We do this show because Elena came to me and said, look, we got to talk about the problem of being married and business and what happens.
And how do we work together? How do we support each other?
And I've had so many of my buddies, man, their marriage failed because they were in business because, I mean, frankly, they never had their spouse on board with what
Also, you look like a carnivore, and I thought, you know what, bringing me into the mix might soften them around the edges.
Baby, I am a carnivore. Let's not kid it. I eat meat. Okay, I eat meat. I look for deals. I'm aggressive. I'm assertive. I love power. My whole life I've wanted this. Hey, today I want to take on a subject. I want to take on something that is very near and dear to my heart, and I've had a personal experience with and personal problems with, which is drugs.
Any kind of drugs, street drugs, prescription drugs, what kind of drugs?
Any kind of drug that would change the way I felt. I would eat, consume, snort, smoke.
And why today? What happened? Why did you
because
come to me and say this?
I heard something this morning.
Okay.
That just like, I know drugs are a problem, okay? Firsthand, I know they've been a problem for good people, unbelievable people, and it affects families. It's not just the guy that has the problem or the gal that has the problem. Yeah, dude, the whole family gets affected.
Oh, yeah.
I know how badly My whole family was affected by one person using drugs in the family. But I heard a number today that was like, I couldn't even believe it. I had to rewind it, replay it, and this is the number. 80% of all pain meds, I'm not talking about weed, okay?
What are
I'm
you
not talking about people shooting
prescription?
heroin. I'm
You're
talking about pain meds like oxycodone.
Okay, so you're talking about prescription from a doctor
I'm talking
prescribed.
about prescription drugs.
Okay.
80% of all pain meds on planet Earth, 7.3 billion people, are consumed by less than 5% of the population. And you have something in common with them. If you live in America, they're Americans.
Wow.
How can 80% of all the pain meds, and this should have something to do with how you vote this year, by the way.
Listen to this, and then I want to get to that.
Now, I want you to hear what I was-
99% of the world's Vicodin is
Yeah.
consumed in America. 99%.
And let me tell you what's going on right now, because this has become an epidemic. It became in New Hampshire when they were doing the
Yes.
voting in New Hampshire. New Hampshire said, hey, our number one problem here is not terrorism.
That's heroin.
It's not economics. It is not heroin. Yeah, it is heroin, but it started with the oxycodone run, okay? What's happening is kids...
Ah, gotcha. And then they went to the cheaper form, which is heroin.
Oxycodone costs about $10 a tab, okay? Because Big Pharma makes freaking tremendous, stupid, crazy money off
Big
these
Pharma
pain
hit
meds.
over $1 trillion last year in sales.
I think they hit way more than that.
Over $1 trillion.
Okay.
That's what the notes say here.
And I just want to put everything in perspective here, okay? There's 28,000 overdose from these pain meds every year. 28,000. Now, how does that compare to car deaths or gun deaths? How often do you hear the politicians in the media talking about guns running rampant, gun blah, blah, blah? Hey, check this out. You want to hear a crazy number? There's 300 million guns in America. There's 4 billion prescriptions for pain meds. That means the average household in America has got 15 prescriptions in their medicine cabinet. We don't have any, so you got to take me and Elena and my kids out of the equation. So I don't know where you guys are at. There's fewer deaths in cars and guns.
That's true.
Than there are on overdoses. So if you got a friend doing Xanax,
Every day, 50 Americans die from prescription painkiller overdoses.
hydrocodone, oxycodone, these are monster numbers, okay? Now I think it's tied to the politicians.
Oh.
Because politicians take so much money from Big Pharma, okay? They take so much money from Big Pharma to
definitely.
loosen up how I can write a script.
Look at the media. You cannot turn on CNN, Fox, any mainstream media, Time Magazine, all the magazines. They've got so much money in advertisements. That's how this thing exploded. Because in the 50s, the pharmaceutical company came onto the market with, what was that drug called?
Valium.
Yes, with Valium.
They promised, by the way, that it was not addictive.
That's
okay?
right.
12 years later, 63 million housewives in America were freaking junked out on Valium.
That's right.
Which has the longest half-life of any drug.
In 1963, they
Hang
hit
on
$1
a second, I just
billion
want-
in sales. In 1963 for Valium.
Wow.
And why
Wow.
they did that
and
was
they
did
were over and over saying, I remember I was growing up, I was a teenager at the time, and my mom had Valium. My mom was convinced to have Valium, and she had lost her husband, and she was depressed and everything, and it made her feel better. But me and my brother would go in there and rip them off, dude. We would steal the Valium, man. 5 milligrams, a little yellow tablet, 10 milligrams. And it was like, dude, I could be anybody on a Valium, okay? It had actually a reverse effect on me. It didn't knock me out. Freaking lit me up and
It
I
was
went
like
crazy.
a stimulant for you.
All right, stay with us. We're going to talk about my problems, your problems, our problems. Stay with us. Appreciate you joining us today on G&E Show.
Leave a mark in your neighborhood with a lasting impression. A professional landscape can deliver that and more. And the man to bring it to you is Steve Griggs. Awarded the National Best of Hows in Client Satisfaction in 2016 with clients such as Dr. Oz and the Palisades Center Mall in West Nyack. Steve Griggs is Rockland County's premier landscape architect. This isn't landscape design, this is lifestyle design. For more information, visit SteveGriggsDesign.com. That's SteveGriggsDesign.com. Results lay the foundation of any marketing campaign. At Rush Impact Marketing, we take pride in helping your automotive dealership generate more traffic, increase gross profit, and deliver a lifetime of results. Rush Impact Marketing is the #1 staffed event, direct mail, digital, and consulting marketing company in the automotive industry, with the sole intention of creating a solid and long-term relationship with each of our automotive dealership clients on a personal level. Grow your business, expand your name, generate more profits, utilize every social platform, every
want a job. All of America says, I want a job. I want a better job. I'm not paid enough in my job. But you won't do whatever it takes when you get the shot.
This is whatever it takes. I'm sick of hiring people that are uninspired. I'm done with book smart and people stupid. I'll throw up again if I hear about what you did rather than what you can do. My name's Grant Cardone, and I made it from nothing. And I have 2 rules. 1, find great people. Number 2, never tolerate average. If you have even the slightest hint of being a whiner, crybaby, or little bitch, I'll find out. Welcome back to the G&E Show. Welcome back to the G&E Show. Grant Cardone and Elena Cardone. Our number here is 305-865-8668. 305-865, I said it, 8668. Call us. I want to know, have you known anyone that's ever been addicted to prescription drugs?
How can you not?
Drugs?
How can you not? According to this, 52 million Americans are taking drugs for
80% of all pain meds on the planet are consumed by America. Is America in that much pain?
America's not in that much pain, but when you turn on the television and every other commercial, and one break is to handle the sleep and the this or jittery legs or arthritis or
syndrome?
the
Do you have back pain?
Are you depressed? It is so forced down your throat.
Yeah.
That eventually it just becomes normal. Do you remember when you could, they had tobacco and you could smoke in commercials?
Yeah.
And then they banned that.
Yeah, they made it popular.
Then they banned it.
And here's the side effects, okay?
Why are we not
like
banning
the ADHD. Okay, and by the way, is that part of the problem? Is that media actually manufactures these problems? The ADD, the ADHD, the OCD. These are all things that I'm writing a book about.
It's not the media, it's the American Psychiatric Association that makes them up, the AMA.
Yeah.
They make up these things. And
a great site, if you want the data, is The Truth About Drugs and cchr.com or org, cchr.org.
No,
r.org.
Right.
I think.
CCHR, Citizens Commission on Human Rights. But why are we talking about this
Well, I'm going to tell
today?
you why I'm talking about it, okay? Because drugs were a big problem for me in my life. At 16 years old, prescription drugs became the drug of choice, okay? It was not the street drugs. It wasn't the weed. It wasn't the cocaine. It was street drugs, man, okay? I know somebody very dear to me, a friend very, very dear to me, became hooked on street drugs at 17, prescription drugs at 17.
And then turned to the street
35
drugs?
years later, this person is still using prescription drugs to solve problems.
Well, the thing that's so sad is the kids that are getting put on them now. Look at this. Look at these numbers of kids and the age and what and
0
how
to
many.
1 years old.
0 to 1. I mean,
how many kids do you think under the age of 1 are on ADHD or ADD drugs or antidepressant drugs?
No.
274,000.
Wow.
2 to
That's
3 years
just for
old.
psychiatric. ADHD drugs is
ADHD drugs.
Anyway, what are we
under
doing?
5 years old, there's almost 200,000 kids. There's over 10 million kids every year. Now, why are we talking about 10 million put on Ritalin, man?
Because
For hyperactivity.
Because people are getting false information, whether it's from the drug companies, their doctors who are given false information,
or they're manufactured. And that's what I was saying about this book I'm writing called Obsessed, is to give people permission to be obsessive. Okay? Look, I got 16 things going on in my head while I do this show. And people are like, man, you're all over the place. I got 16 things going on, bro. What do you want me to do, shut all the windows down? I don't want to do that. I want to confront all the stuff I have going on, much like back pain, or I bumped my toe, or I hurt myself. Confront the pain, dude. Don't look for a quick fix for it to go away. Listen to this. Here's what you're denying. These are the side effects of some of these drugs: aggression, agitation, blood pressure changes, changes in vision or blurred vision, depression, dizziness of faintness, fever, hallucinations, heart attack, hives, hypersensitivity, impotence. You know I ain't on it. Increased irritability, okay, insomnia, involuntary twitching, irregular heartbeat, liver problems, loss of appetite, mania, mental mood changes, muscle,
I know some women that take it just for the appetite loss thing.
nausea, nervousness, painful menstruation, psychosis, restlessness, seizures, suicide, Ideas of suicide, sexual dysfunction,
So
slow
then
or difficult speech.
they get on one drug, they have a side effects, then they get put on more a cocktail to handle the other
Stomach
side
pain,
effects.
stroke, stunted growth, sudden death, suicidal thoughts, swelling of face or throat, Tourette syndrome, toxic psychosis, unusual bleeding, unusual sadness, violent behavior, vomiting, weight loss, zombie demeanor.
And birth defects if women
What's this
take
got to do
them
with you?
for
You're listening to
pregnancy.
this right now. You're like, man, I can't handle all this negativity. Dude, this is your environment. This is your family. This is your brother, your uncle, your aunt, your sister. You got to know the facts.
But but it's so. What is the solution, Grant? When I go out to
Number one.
my social gatherings with other women,
Druggy friends.
they don't even think of it as abnormal. It's the doctor giving them, because they are too nervous to fly or whatever,
You
so
got-
they
you got
pop
to-
their
look,
Xanax.
the whole deal-
And what am I supposed to do? Stand up
You-
there and preach and, you know?
You confront. You got to confront the pain. You got to confront the fear. Okay? You got to confront the boogeyman.
How do you tell people
So
that
what-
when there's an easy way out, when they can swallow a little pill and chill and go
You
to
just tell them the
sleep
truth,
for
man.
a
Do you
long
always do you want to
flight?
do that forever? Is that your solution? Is that your solution? Is that little thing right there your solution to? It's all right. The doctor approved it. They've been approving garbage for years. Okay, this is $1 trillion industry.
Yeah, it is.
80%. Tell people the facts. 80% of all those meds are taken in one country, the wealthiest country, a free
most
country,
free.
dude. You got to sell it, folks. How can you be free when you need to take a tab? If you're smoking weed, man, to make you get confidence, how is that freedom, right? That's not freedom. It's not freedom. Freedom is, okay, I bumped my toe. I'm going to handle this. I'm going to confront this. I'm going to
But
put
you're
it
certainly
nice.
not saying if someone breaks a bone, you wouldn't give them a pain medicine.
We're not
for
talking
it.
about people.
Okay, I just
I'm
want
in the
everyone
hospital
to
for
know.
this heart thing that happened to me
Yeah,
last year,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
This is what happened. The nurse comes in and says, do you want something for pain? I said, no, I'd rather not, but what were you thinking? Morphine. I said, no, I'd rather not. I'm going to handle and confront it. I was in immense pain. The fact that they hit me with the morphine and all of a sudden the pain goes away, is the problem still there? See, as a recovering drug addict, I know the drug don't make the pain go away.
It
doesn't
just
make
cuts
the pain,
off the nerve
depression,
endings. It
Dude,
deadens the nerve endings. So you're deadening.
it just pushes
you're
the
deadening.
dirt underneath the carpet.
Yeah.
I still got dirt. Okay, we got a stain on my couch right now. Okay, I know the stain's there, and the stain
That
isn't
you
going away.
put there, by the
I
way.
did it. My fault. We didn't confront it fast enough, so now it left a stain there. Okay, so you know what? I need to confront it because it's pissing me off. So I need to go buy another couch or sofa, whatever you call it. All right.
Let me
and
have one
replace
more
it.
try at the stain, okay?
And
I'm
number-
determined. I can do this.
Okay, do it. Please do it. But
Okay.
it starts with confront. What are your losses? Where have you failed? What's causing your depression? Okay? Why can't you sleep? Why are you scared to get on a plane when you've never ever been in a plane crash? Why are you scared
When
of
it's the
heights?
safest way to travel.
Planes.
Planes are the safest way to
Okay.
travel.
Why are you scared of guns? You're scared of guns because you don't know anything about guns. Why are you scared of strangers? Because you don't know, you haven't taken the time to meet strangers. When we come back from break, we're going to take some callers. I want to take Ryan real quick because I know Ryan's going to be tight. Ryan, talk to me, dude. Have you ever known somebody addicted to pain meds?
His phone, no good.
Oh, something's wrong.
Okay, let's. Okay,
so
you want to go to break or you
look,
want to take Gary?
Gary from Florida. And dude, why, guys, like those of you that don't have problems with pain meds, okay, those of you who do not are not using drugs, man, why don't you tell everybody the truth about them? So your friends aren't walking zombies.
I think it's because, if I may, is that no one wants to sound like the preachy, uncool, like friend. And if someone isn't armed up with facts like we have in front of us, it kind of is, how do you go up against that they're going to go home and see ads for prescription drugs 10
This is the
times?
G&E show. We're talking about drugs and druggies. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Everyone says it's okay.
I said we'll be right back.
All right.
Credit affects every aspect of life. How's yours? At Safe Credit Solutions, we dedicate our lives to ensuring you can get the life you want. Safe Credit Solutions are FICO certified consultants, and we are trained to be immediately at your service to find solutions and repair your credit. Our goal is to grow your credit, add stability, and accomplish the goals you want for your life. With month-to-month services and live monitoring of our progress, we can get results results for you within 30 to 45 days. Visit safecreditsolutions.com. That's safecreditsolutions.com to get a free credit consultation from our expert team. And let's get you on the path to repairing your credit today. That's safecreditsolutions.com. Technology to get awareness out there about your dealership. Let us show the world who you are. Text SuperSale to 555-888 to get started today with your free market analysis. Trust, confidence, and results lay the foundation of any marketing campaign. At Rush Impact Marketing, we take pride in helping your automotive dealership generate more traffic, increase gross profit, and deliver a lifetime of results. Rush Impact Marketing is the #1 staffed event, direct mail, digital, and consulting marketing company in the automotive industry, with the sole intention of creating a solid and long-term relationship with each of our automotive dealership clients on a personal level. Grow your business, expand your name, generate more profits, utilize every social platform, every piece of mobile technology to get awareness out there about your dealership. Let us show the world who you are. Text SuperSale to 555-888 to get started today with your free market analysis.
Do you want a job? All of America says, I want a job. I want a better job. I'm not paid enough in my job, but you won't do whatever it takes when you get the shot.
This is whatever it takes. I'm sick of hiring people that are uninspired. I'm done with book smart and people stupid. I'll throw up again if I hear about what you did rather than what you can do. My name's Grant Cardone, and I made it from nothing. And I have 2 rules. 1, find great people. 2, never tolerate average. If you have even the slightest hint of being a whiner, crybaby, or little bitch, I'll find out. Thank you for joining us. Coming back to Grant Cardone TV, the G&E show. This is at Elena Cardone on Instagram. We are both drug-free.
Oh, yeah.
33 years I have been without using drugs. From the age of 16 to the age of 25, I was using a drug every day.
Dang.
Every day.
And mine was
What is that,
January
16,
1st,
7 years,
2000.
365.
I even delivered both babies with not even an epidural.
You're awesome, dude. 2,555 days of my life, I used a drug every single day. Okay?
Wow.
And then I went to a treatment center, spent 28 days in a treatment center. My insurance
And they
ran out,
gave you
so
drugs
kicked
to
me
get
out.
you off of the drugs.
They gave me phenobarbital when I left, okay? And said, don't miss a day. 3 times a day, they wanted me on phenobarbital. I took it for 2 days, threw it away when I got home. People said, don't ever throw it away, because I'd been on it 31 days at that point. Don't just ditch it. I just ditched it. I didn't have any side effects from just ditching it, by the way.
But you
But it's
could've.
unbelievable how many drugs are being consumed in one country. 80% of all pain meds, okay, are being consumed by America. 80%. More deaths, more overdoses in America than gun deaths.
Oh, yeah.
You ever hear this? You guys ever hear
No,
this? No, you
all
hear
you hear
about
is
gun
about
deaths.
gun control.
Oh my God, Bobby killed John, man, an accidental killing. Somebody blew their brains out. Oh my God, gun deaths. We have 300 million guns in America. We have fewer gun deaths than we have prescription overdoses,
Yep.
okay? Now, why is that? Because there's 4 billion prescriptions for pain meds written in America alone every year.
Well,
an
they're doing a huge marketing campaign. These are the reasons why. Huge marketing plan. There's, it hit over $1 trillion last year.
So what's the
What
solution?
is the point? So the solution
First of all, the
is-
politicians, the politicians that take money from the what are they called?
From the lobbyists, from
Who do you
pharmaceutical companies, from you name it, from the oil companies. There's only 2 candidates that aren't doing that. That claim they aren't. Is Bernie and Trump.
Bernie and Trump. And
I
Bernie,
like that they're
I guarantee you,
mentioning it, too.
Bernie would do free meds for every person on the planet.
Well, he wants to do legalization of marijuana. He's
Well,
just
because
said,
everybody
but
wants
that's
to,
not-
everybody wants to jump to the mental health thing. Everybody wants to. Oh, there's something wrong with them. They're depressed, man. Why is people depressed? I've been depressed. Why? I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there a situation
I'm
where
always
somebody
happier
should
when
be?
I'm working. I feel proud. I feel,
Exactly.
happy with my accomplishments. Even when you clean your house. Do you feel good after you clean your house? I feel so good when I clean my closet or clean.
I feel good when somebody else cleans my house, actually, okay?
Yeah.
Check this out, okay? Check this out. This is what people are saying in comments at Grant Cardone TV.
That's because you work and hustle all day long. You don't need to clean the house.
Bees nuts, okay? I was 22 years old. No, I was on 22-something pills a day as a kid. One for this, one for that, 4 more to combat the side effects of the first 2.
I told you.
People are so quick to reach for pills for everything. Burn me on pills. I avoid pills at all costs. Like, I don't take Advil or Tylenol or anything. I'm like, I got a headache, dude, I'm gonna figure it out. I got back pain. I went golfing, I get back pain. I don't take Advil. You know what I do? I go do Pilates and I try to stretch it out. I get in the pool.
That's true. And an Epsom salt bath. You know, Whole Foods has some good homeopathic little things too that sometimes I give the kids. I've never given the kids drugs. Fortunately, they've never needed them. I would. If they needed an antibiotic, I would, but I don't. I've given those little
New Life says they're in pain, but not physical. They're depressed, how their life is. They have low self-esteem. But you know what? When I had low self-esteem at 16 and I took weed, my self-esteem went down. It didn't go up.
Totally.
Like when
and
you
it's a depressant. Marijuana is in the category called a depressant.
Dude, a lot of people here smoking weed, I guarantee you. Danny from Tampa. Danny, how you doing, buddy?
Good, GC. How you doing?
Great.
You got to tell them to turn the thing on. Hey, Danny.
Yes, sir.
Dude, do you know anybody that's addicted to prescription drugs?
Actually, I had a good friend. He had surgery and was put on a painkiller.
Yep.
And he took the prescription as noted, didn't abuse it or anything. And when he ran out of the pills, I mean, his surgery was done. He was healed. His body reacted like something fierce. I mean, it was unbelievable how his body adapted to having that pain med in his system. It was just unreal what he had to go through to wean himself off.
Hey, what was the drug? Do you know what drug that was?
I believe it was
The Permacet.
I'm thinking here, GC. I'm sorry, you caught me off guard with that one. It's a normal painkiller. It's this basic surgery, nothing real strong. It's codeine.
There was another one that you talked about earlier. Yeah, it's like
Vicodin?
Vicodin. Like I went and had a crown put on a tooth. I had a tooth problem. They wanted to give me 30 tabs of Percodan, dude.
That's crazy.
Crazy, man. And look, you don't guys know this, but you could get addicted off of one bottle. These drugs are so freaking powerful. I know you don't think they're doing anything to you, but look at the numbers of people addicted. And that creates These big treatment facilities. And then the insurance kicks in. Go ahead, man.
Yep. That's exactly what happened to him. I mean, like I said, he didn't abuse it. He took it as prescribed. And that one subscription just messed him all up for probably, I would say, almost 3 months until he got his body regulated. It was unreal.
And then what happens to some people is because after they get addicted, kids coming out of high school, this is happening all over the country, right?
Oh yeah.
Kids coming out of high school, they get a football injury. They get in a football injury, yeah. And the kid gets on a Percocet or a Vicodin or whatever, and the next thing you know, 90 days later, he's like, man, these tabs are $10 a pop. It's $300 for 30 of them. Mm-hmm. And he finds out he can buy heroin. There's a heroin epidemic now breaking out across America because heroin's so cheap. For what a guy can get for $10, he can get off the streets for $1. I hate to advertise that, but here's the solution, folks. This is when my drug problem got solved. I started confronting my pain and my problems, okay? I started confronting, number 2, the cause of the pain and the problem, okay? Not just the pain. Number 3, I quit taking shortcuts in my life. I actually got rich because I don't take shortcuts. I'm extremely disciplined with my money and my businesses. I don't look for quick fixes ever.
I can vouch for that.
Number 4, I don't trust sources that are trusted sources, okay? The agreed upon trusted sources.
Right.
The big medical, the big pharma, the doctors, just because you wear a little white gown or you're a nurse in the hospital at 5:30 in the morning, I don't have to trust you. And I do not trust the manufacturing of
And
problems.
it's not necessarily that these people are evil intentioned. It's that they have themselves false information.
Yeah, totally. But you know what? Whether you're evil
Trickles
with
down from the
intentions
top.
to be evil, or you're freaking what's it called? Incompetent. Incompetent people are as dangerous as evil people. You understand? I guarantee you, incompetent people have killed more people than Hitler killed.
Well, over the decades.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Dude, you're stupid. You hang around stupid people, stupid things happen to you. Brandon from Tennessee.
Accidents.
Brandon, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Grant?
Come on, man.
Come on, Tennessee.
What's up, man?
Dude, do you know anybody that's been addicted to pain meds?
Dude, I know somebody who's been addicted to pain meds for 5 years.
Wow. You close to
Yeah.
you?
It's my cousin, dude. Grew up close.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any brothers, so when we grew up, that's my brother, man. He's actually not too far from you right now. He's down in Pompano at a sober living house right now.
It hurts, doesn't it, man? Doesn't it hurt watching somebody go through that?
It does. It hurts bad, man.
Dude, they don't think good, man. They're angry. They're irritable. They go up and down. I know because
They
that's the
lie.
way I was. They lie all
lie,
the time.
They have
No, I ain't got a
accidents.
problem,
They're
man. No.
victims of everything.
No, I don't have a
Dude,
problem. Every time they do
They're
this.
manipulative.
Every time a drug addict. I know drug addicts, man. Every time man, I know I got a problem. Hey, you got a problem? Oh, no, I ain't got a problem, man. I ain't got a problem, man. A doctor
Mind your
gave
own
me that,
business.
man. Okay?
Yep.
What do you want to say about it, Brandon? Have you tried to help him before and not been able to?
Oh, I've tried many times. We've even got to the point where I threatened to beat him once. I was like, dude, if you pick that up again, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And he was
Yeah.
just like, he just thought he was the man, thought he was invincible. He was like, come on, then. He's like, I'll take you, and I'll go back and I'll go get high. And I was like, all right, man. I can only help you if you want me to help you. But if you don't want me to help you, there isn't a single thing I can do for you.
I dated a girl in high school, and I guess I was 19. I'm 58 now. Beautiful, I mean beautiful, beautiful woman. Sorry about that, blasted out that beautiful, but she's beautiful, beautiful woman, right? 38 years, 39 years now. Drugs every day.
I bet
She
you
never
she's
got
not
off,
so
man.
beautiful
She's
anymore.
not so beautiful anymore, man.
No.
And you know what it started? It started out of her mama's medicine cabinet. It didn't start on the streets. It didn't start with weed. It started out of a medicine cabinet. Brandon, thanks for calling, buddy. Hey, we're sending your friend a lot of courage, man, and energy. Sandy from Florida.
7 for him.
Sandy, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, Sandy, do you know somebody addicted to pain meds?
Yes, I am divorced because of that.
Wow. Ruined a marriage.
Yes.
What was he on?
He was addicted to oxycodone, droxycodone. He was spending like $40 a pill. I'm a nurse and was working
Wow,
2-3
so
jobs and trying to figure out where the money was going to, and then finally figured it out.
Yeah. And how hard was it? Is he still addicted?
He says not.
Yeah.
I hope that's true for our son's sake, because my son goes there every other week. But I don't really, I'm not around him too much to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know I did. It's very addicting, and that's why I got into the company that I'm in, because it's all natural and helps people with pain.
Yeah.
And I
What
was
is the
actually
company?
getting a massage. I was getting a massage right now when I was on hold for my pain.
Oh, wow. What is the company?
The company that I am is Life Vantage with Protandim. I've seen so many lives change. It's helped my uncle with his huge
Life Vantage.
pain. They said that he couldn't have a back surgery because his back was too bad, and after a month, he doesn't take pain pills at all.
Wow,
So,
that's
and that was
that's
just my
awesome.
first-
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
calling in. I really appreciate that. Hey, make sure people know about this show. Maybe the reason me and Elena wanted to do this when I heard this news this morning, I said, look, we got to do something about this. Let's do a show to raise awareness. Maybe people will trust the way we talk about it. We've both been affected. She had a boyfriend that ended up in prison.
Yeah.
Okay. I ended up in my own prison for too many years because of drugs. We want to do our part to make sure other people that can hear a message at that right time, maybe it's the right time for them to hear this show and say, hey, look, man, I know I've been there. It's ugly. It hurts. It's painful. I know you can't imagine being off of it. The first day that I went without drugs was the start of the rest of my life. So I hope if you know somebody that's on drugs, maybe passing the show. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do the G&E show. It's about our problems, our situations, our challenges. She's a champ. She's on the same page with me every day. We fly to Vegas this afternoon. Tomorrow we do Young Hustlers from Vegas. Friday we do
fun.
Cardone Zone from Vegas. If you're in Vegas and you're not popping pills, hey man, why don't you find us? We're at the Encore from tonight to Sunday. Look forward to seeing you there. Thanks a lot for joining us.